Am I the asshole for not wanting to invite my autistic sister to my art show? I 18F got into this prestigious art show that I am really excited about. It opens up on Friday and there's going to be a party, but I didn't tell my family because I didn't want my sister 24F to come. Long story short, my sister's autistic. She's really smart, she went to an Ivy League school, but does not do well with social cues. Usually, this leads to her belittling me and being mean. My parents always tell me to get over it, and that since she's autistic, she can't help it. But she doesn't unleash on them the same way that she unleashes on me, so I don't think they really understand. Every time something good happens to me she just kind of shits on it and she never, ever apologizes. Anyhow, my parents found out about the art show and got mad at me for not telling them. They told me they'll be coming to the opening with my sister, since she's currently living with us. I ended up breaking down and begging them not to bring her. I worked so hard for this, and since she thinks that my paintings are silly in the first place, I know she's going to try bringing me down in front of my friends and teachers. I asked if they could just wait until after the party and go later. The show will be up for a week, but they said they'd be coming to the party. They also said I was being ableist by wanting to exclude my sister. My sister found out and started screaming at me and calling me an asshole for not letting her share this moment with me. From my point of view, I just want to have a happy night and celebrate this accomplishment, but I don't know. Everyone in my family's pissed at me, so maybe I am the asshole? Today I effed up by buying 2 homeless men water. This just happened and I'm pretty embarrassed. I pull up to the gas station to start my day and I notice a homeless man. I've always had a soft spot for homeless people because I understand how much mental health can affect someone. Before I go into the gas station I ask the man if he needs anything, maybe some water? The man says water would be great. I go and grab a water and see there's a buy 2 deal, so I grab 2 waters. I grab my stuff and proceed to check out. I walk out of the gas station and now the original man is sitting with another man who is wearing some dirty camouflage cargo shorts, a ripped tie-dye shirt and a neon yellow beanie. In my head I think, wow, good thing there was a 2-for deal on these waters, otherwise I'd only have 1 water for 2 men. I hand the original man a water and then offer the second guy a water. He kind of just looks at me funny and stutters thank you. And then grabs the water slowly. I go to my truck, glad I could help some people out. As I'm sitting there getting my music figured out I see camouflage shorts guy get up and hand over his water to the original guy. He walks over to his own brand new looking truck and drives away. I just assumed this man was homeless because he had an interesting sense of fashion. She told me she wanted to open the relationship after 7 years. After 7 years, she told me she wanted to open the relationship. Told me she decided she was poly and wanted to explore that side of her. Tried to frame this as if it's not just her wanting to fuck other men by claiming this is an emotional deficiency in our relationship, like that makes it any better. She's been unemployed for 2.5 fucking years. 2.5 years I've worked 50 hours a week to support her ungrateful ass so she can sit home and do nothing but play video games and shit talk me to people online who apparently agree I'm not enough for her. She doesn't clean, doesn't do anything for the 2 damn dogs she brought into the relationship, doesn't do anything for me but unenthusiastic sex once in a while. She didn't even ask me, this was not a question. She just said that she wanted to open the relationship and acted like I was just going to have to go along with it. If anything, that selfish bitch is the reason this relationship has been emotionless for some time. She even tried to shame and guilt me when I said I'm not okay with this. Tried to tell me that no one man can fulfill everything she needs, think of it like a puzzle, you're only one piece that fits to make me whole, and that I need to stop taking it personally. The only funny thing about this whole situation was how quick that manipulative bitch changed her tune when I told her to get the fuck out. Go find her puzzle piece who will support her financially because I'm done. Her shaming quickly turned to her apologizing and begging me to stay with her. Only funnier thing was when she showed even more emotion when I told her she can't take the computer I paid for with her when she went to stay with her parents. This was just the straw that broke the camel's back, but it stings nonetheless. Am I the asshole for showing the kids what their dad did? My husband was staying at the hospital for some health issues. After he got out he started wetting the bed every few nights. We talked to the doctor about it and they gave us meds, but they take time, so they suggested that my husband use adult diapers temporarily. He said no, and since he's too sick to do anything then I'm the one having to clean up every time. I grew tired of it. He just kept wetting the bed and not even considering diapers at this point. Yesterday morning was my final straw. I saw that he'd wet the bed again and I just kind of went off. I kept talking but it's like he wasn't hearing me at all because he just kept staring at the wall. The kids heard the fuss and came in asking what was going on. I showed them the state the bed and sheets were in and said, see, your dad keeps wetting the bed and throws a tantrum when asked to wear a diaper. They stared and my husband looked shocked. He had them leave the room then said I shouldn't have done that. In my defense I wanted to defend myself because I thought it was unfair when the kids accused me of yelling at their dad for no reason. He said I humiliated him in front of his kids and made him feel terrible. I told him he can be less embarrassed and feel less terrible when he stops wetting the bed like he was a child. He started crying, saying he's struggling with his health, and said that I was being cruel and descendant towards him. Now I'm trying to turn the kids against him as well as shame him in front of them. My sister visited, and when I vented to her about it, she said she understood, but I was still in the wrong for getting kids involved. I'm feeling conflicted on whether I did the right thing, maybe to get him to understand how this has been affecting me as well. Am I the asshole for this? My husband plays WoW, and he was upset that our upcoming newborn's delivery is conflicting with his raid schedule. I've never felt so hurt. I've tolerated his gaming habits for the entirety of the relationship because I don't want to be the controlling wife and I want him to be happy. It's only the past 3 years that he's come to bed extremely late. He talks about the game all the time and I let him indulge in his info dumping. I'm set to go to the hospital on Monday as I might be close to delivering our first child. He said that his raid with his guild is on Tuesday and Thursday and he's fighting the final boss of Mythic, and this might be his only chance to do it. The baby might be delivered next week. I don't know how I feel about this or how to process this. I'm so afraid he will choose the game over us. Police officers of TikTok, what was your they could have gotten away with it if they had kept their mouth shut moment? My buddy and I were drag racing through town late one night, drag racing in my used beater-ass Buick, so speeds were low and nobody was in danger. Flashing lights behind us, my buddy gets pulled over and I get away clean. Later that night we got a phone call. The officer asked my buddy, "Who's your friend?" Because he didn't even get my plates, and my buddy, not great under pressure, responded by giving him my name, address and phone number. Cue summons to traffic court for both buddy and I. It's the day of. We're at the courthouse, dressed in the closest thing to suits that two idiot high school boys have, surrounded by our parents and siblings in their Sunday best. My case was first. Buddy was subpoenaed to testify against me because he was the only witness that I was present. The trial starts, but the officer isn't there. Let me repeat all that. There is no officer on the other side of the court. My buddy is the only witness that either of us were racing that night, and he gets up on the stand. Let me also remind you that he's not great under pressure. Judge, were you racing that night? Buddy, yes sir, we were racing. Drag racing specifically, sir. Judge, and your friend here was who you were racing against? Buddy, yes sir. His name's Knight 8111 and we were drag racing together. Judge, are you sure about all that? Let me remind you that there's no plaintiff in court today. You are the only witness and what you say goes. If you say you two weren't racing, that's what I'll have to believe. So, again, are you sure that you and Knight 8111 were racing? Buddy, yes sir, drag racing, sir. That mother lover cost me like $500 and more than a few points on my license because he couldn't just keep his mouth shut.